time quickly.
Sure, yes, no worries. Going over to Pump Rump. Wow. Standard Elementalist Dagger build. We know this build and really do know this build now. Condition removal, fields on point, burning lots of might over time for him and his team. Going over to Grandmaster, who's actually going for a Shout Warrior build, but he's actually opting to go for Fear Me instead of On My Mark, which is obviously a smaller cooldown than Fear Me, but Fear Me does give you the advantage of doing that AoE fear, so that CC is pretty good. Sorceress Zero.
I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of a battle standard on a Shout Warrior. They're too easy a target for battle standard, in my opinion.
If you're gonna go for all support on your warrior, why not go for the banner as well?
Because you're just a target. You're the easiest guy to kill, and the one where if you target the one with the battle standard.
Are you though?
Only if Zereldo has a battle standard too. Then I'm okay with it. If we've got double, then they don't really gain a benefit out of killing him first.
Nick might be okay with it, everyone. It depends. We'll see if we get to Zereldo. Xerix is also going to be playing Dagger as well. Exact same build. He's gone with the Great Sword, and also Pump Rump has gone with that as well. Going over to Zereldo, he's running with the Cygnus, and Nick doesn't approve. And he's actually playing with the Sword Warhorn, and he is playing a Shout Warrior as well.
Okay, but
it should be interesting.
To be honest, Double Shout Warrior is a whole nother territory, so I'm just gonna...
Never seen the team play with 2 Shout Warriors before.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay away from any more critique on the battle stand. Maybe it works. It's a bit of an new setup. Say that. Would it be good if one of them would be Hambo?
To sustain in this group is really insane. I mean, and then you've got this Celestial Rifle Engineer who's going for... There you go. I've been trying this recently as well. Power Wrench as a trait in tools is really nice. It gives you lots more control. You can do pulling quicker. You can use the shield, of course, as well to actually block a lot more damage. So your cooldowns are quicker, and you can also do. Where's the damage? And the damage was nice on pry bar and whatnot, and also on the first skill. Yeah. So we can go over to the blue team now.
Okay, blue team. So. Blue team might be a little bit of a very interesting team to maybe compete in really the upper part of the competitive scene. Just if we simply judge them by their names and where they come from. First off is Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch is playing a Meditation Guardian, but he is back to the... we've seen... Or did we see Bullet Punch ever on the Hammer build? He's not playing the Hammer build. He's playing the Great Sword build with the middle finger.
It's his build, isn't it? It's the one he plays. Yeah. It's the same build he's been playing forever.
With Meditation DPS Guardians, either this one or the 01616 build. One of the two.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
So, Tayskin on a... Let me have a look. Is on a Condition Engineer. So not the Sally stacking as we've seen on the other side. Is it? It's 5 Celestials, right? On 360 no scope?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so Balthazar, he's running a Condition Engineer. Then we have a Panic Strike, Backstab on Shat. Fake is running... Oh, and here we go. He's running a Celestial Shout Warrior, but he's going for Rampage. At least at the moment. Some people like to switch it out afterwards, but Rampage, we've seen it on ROM. Especially if you're on the 1v1s.
It's a really nice team.
Yeah, could be interesting. And who's the 5th? We had him in just a second ago.
I'm not sure.
By the way, you can say them to ready up whenever they want.
Okay.
Because by the time they actually manage to all press the ready button, I think we might be able to do one more build.
Oh, Zeraldo has just whispered me saying that he is using the banner, but he's just got...
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then double banner, I can kind of see that working. Double banner, okay, then you can't just focus down on one and say, okay, we've got the banner dealt with. Because if they focus Grandmaster, then Zereldo can just put the banner down. If they focus Zereldo, then Grandmaster can put the banner down.
Indeed.
So this is just brutal sustain in Celestial stacking.
Indeed. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to add a command for the brackets, everyone, which is why I'm just slightly trying to sort this out for you, guys. So I do apologize for that.
Sure.
Some reason.
Well, then we can also say that last but not least, we've got Tommy Tom, who is running a double dagger Celestial Elementalist with the Fiery Greatsword and with the Strength Rune instead of Fulbruck. Now we actually have the teams readied up, so it's going to be interesting. The setup of Zip Zap Zoop. Well, missing. We've got a warrior instead of a mess. No, we've got. That's a bit different. I just wanted to compare it to TCG, but it's not really. So let's see how it works out. We've got Zip Zap Zoop on the blue side against 360 no scope on the red side.
And they're all going around the back at the moment, the red team. They're going... Are they guarding for a boss or something? I don't know. If they come incoming for close on red. So red being really sneaky, even though they don't really need to be, because, you know, I mean, they're all so sustained. They could just go on the point as soon as possible, in all fairness. I mean, Fake is there now. He's the support character, obviously. Chad's just ranging from the side, doesn't want to get involved in that cleave as of yet, being very patient, sorry, which is what he needs to do. Bolit's just jumped right in, doesn't care at all. And we see the supply crate dropped on the mid as well. So we got the one cap coming out for the blue team, but we do see that 1v1 erupting over on the mine as well.
Yeah, and we do have there two strategies that Celestial Comms can go for. One is just sustained fights on 3 points, because they do have the sustain on every class, that they can be in these small fights and just outlast them. Or the approach that, for the most part, Cheese Mode is going for, at least when they still stuck with the without the Mesmer, just completely zerg it into one big team fight and try to perma-CC and just burst it down.
Yeah, I mean, over here, you know, this actual, you know, Taskin's doing actually quite a good job versus Eric's, but he can, you know, as soon as he's got rid of those conditions, Taskin's damage is reduced ridiculously. You know, he needs to build up.
Still have a supply crate, and there it goes. The last option, but no, the heating turret. The heating turret got him back up, and the second one there, a lot of support coming in, and that brought him back into the game. But still, not enough pressure on Xerix to really win this 1v1 in the long haul.
And he can't really, you know, he's actually using he's using focus, isn't he? Yeah. So I mean, he's got some defensive traits there. Of course, we did see the swirling coming up there as well. So Xerxes is actually going to have to bail here. And you know what? Maybe going for that other dagger might have been a better option here. So he could actually CC Taskin, because in the end, Taskin's actually been able to take him down. So a fantastic job from him, and he's going to be able to get the 2-cap for his team.
And in the mid fight, it looks like the red team is falling apart sooner or later. We have Bomber Typhoon down. We did have who was it, Grandmaster down just a second ago, and they are already retreating. But blue team needs to be careful with their back point, because Zeredo is on the way to get the decap on that one. Fake is reacting now, but might be a bit slow with the rotation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, at the moment, I mean, I'm going to say it. Red team have no damage. The issue is they have no damage. So, yeah, cool. They can sustain the fight for as long as they want, but they're not going to be able to kill anyone. Even that, they're going to have to actually get some people in there who, over time they can. But, you know, the players on the blue team...
It really depends on the enemy team, though. Sometimes you just have that over-eager thief that wants to get the kill, and then he ends up in a bunch of cleave. But Shut, not really one of those thieves. Chosen Sin might be more of an example of an over-eager thief.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but normally, I mean, yesterday he paid off for him. He did okay yesterday. He was definitely a bit more patient, I think. He wasn't overcommitting, but at the moment, you know,
better on the decaps than usual.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the problem I have with is the 2 Shout Warriors, I think. That's, you know, that they don't do a lot of damage, in all honesty. Really. I mean, even with them, when they've got a lot of might stacks, yeah, fair enough. But still, they're not doing a lot of damage on the point, whereas if you had 2 NGs, at least you've got the controller and you've got the rifle, so you can CC so much that their survivability is reduced significantly, whereas, you know, they've got the pin down and whatnot.
Oh, if they get the decap on the midpoint, and they will, and that is now the perfect situation. Oh, excuse me. That had to happen sooner or later. I always drink carbonated water. They are in the situation where they have all 3 points neutral. Okay, the burst just came in on Grandmaster from Bullet Punch there, as Shad comes in for the reinforcement, or just to finish the cap, to be honest. Bullet Punch on his way already to assist Tayskin in the 1v1 against Pump Rump. So the three-point split, definitely a better thing now, because in the big team fights, I would like to see one of the warriors go for Hambo, because that added CC in a big team fight could just be that little bit that puts it over the edge. Maybe catch Shad when he tries to go offensive, and then put a whole lot of AoE down on him.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Red Team is just not doing well at all. I mean, they've just got the hench. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Well, but they're not. You know, unfortunately. I mean, they've got great players on their team. But they're just starting to get into this game now. It feels like they're starting to get
this might be a bit of no commitment with the res on Shad. Resing a thief is always a difficult thing. Resing a thief by yourself while Fake has to stand on point to keep it capped, that is even more difficult. Now the 2v2, we do have the decap on mid again. Only points coming in for the red team, but they have a huge chunk of points to make up for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the moment, you know, 150 point deficit, but blue team's still not got that cap. It feels like red team have got some kind of good rotation with their team at the moment. They can guard these two cap, well, one cap at the moment. I think Xerxes is just not looking at the point whatsoever, so he almost lost it there from Shad from behind. Zeraldo is over on the mid with Grandmaster, loving that name. Bullet Punch is able to actually, he's just going to stick on the node using that Great Sword 2, and actually just as he does that, we're going to see both red team members on that point back out. They don't need to worry so much about trying to keep the node and stay on the point, because they do indeed have it contested and they have some ticks in their favor, so they can avoid that damage where they need to, and have actually been able to push them off point to the point where Fake is actually having to run for his life here. Shad maybe can come in and drop some damage on Grandmaster to help him out, but has actually opted to leave Fake in the wind there.
Yeah, but with him dying, they are looking good on the outer points. Now, Bullet is doing well on the 1v1, and with the assistance of Shad, they are going to bring Typhoon down pretty damn quickly. So sacrificing the midpoint, but also sacrificing currently Tommy downed on a cap point, meaning he can't just be left there if Zeraldo decides to stay there. And also Fake down, so 2 people downed. Maybe it would have been a bit risky. Will Shad go in for the res? He is starting with the res, but we already see the fear coming in. Now the Vapor form, stealth, he can't stomp. Just the damage has to be enough, but it isn't. He doesn't quite know where the body went.
He really is waving his sword around. Oh my god!
Swing my sword, sword my diamond sword. No, he just had it misjudged a bit as to where they actually were. But Tayskin now down with 3 people engaging onto the hench, and we still have Fake in downstate here. That took a huge amount of time to let himself get finished on that one.
Slow game at the moment, really. I mean, red team have started to come back now. They were losing by about 150 points or so. They've actually reduced that to 130, which isn't massive. But you know, the blue team will have mine completely fine at the moment. Bomber is in the downstate over on the mine, so they will be keeping that node, of course. Now blue team can reinforce over on their respawn point here, where they come into the henge, trying to make sure that red team do not get this node. 2 ticks left till they take it. Tayskin free casting with those grenades over on the side. Xeric drops the swirling winds, which means he cannot keep going for that. He needs to get on node and drop some damage.
I'm kind of surprised that nobody's engaging Bullet Punch there. We know the 1v1 Typhoon, he can't really take it. We know that the Warriors are having trouble in the 1v1. So a lot of people used to criticize Bullet Punch for his for the role he is taking in the team to just go for the 1v1s, but against this team at least, it's definitely paying off.
It can work. They've not got enough. They've got sustain, but they now haven't got a lot of passive, well, a lot of burst healing, I will say. Burst healing? As you go for like a tanky character, like a, you know, like Guardian or whatever, it's going to be always tough. But it's easier against these classes, especially if he can just get that burst off. And normally he does. He's very good at it. He's been playing that build for so long.
Now we might have a good wipe of the red team. 2 people going down. Banner. We do have the engage on the mine point, but after this henge fight breaks down, that could immediately go, or if it doesn't break down because of the banner you just called, but we have the rest on shut, so still 4 people on that one. It should be... Wait. Where is... Oh, there. Respawn. I just thought. We're missing a red guy here on the map.
Yeah, this is where Bullet's going to need some help. Because he's going to... No? Okay, fine. He's going to go to the cap that they need to go for. Yeah, he's actually done the right thing there because Xerix is probably doing okay over here at the moment.
Oh, but Shad now for the assistant. He's coming in. He's going to be able to finish Xerix off quite quickly with the assistance of Bullet. Bullet is saving his cooldowns for the initial burst as soon as he engages. Oh, Shad just almost going down already.
Wow.
I think he might have had a bit of lag. I saw him auto-attacking the air.
No, I think Sorcerer Xerix had a reflect there up. He
no,
must have had a
it's up now. Well, okay, there's a second one somewhere in there. Bullet Punch now going down, not with the assist. Maybe we also had retail on there from something.
That was amazing. That was a bad judgment there from Shad. Although Shad's going to go and get the decap over on the mid now, as Grandmaster has to run over and try and make sure that's not going to be decapped. So they're switching nodes, but at least he's 1v1 versus a thief. So Shad cannot stay on node to actually get the cap. And in the end, Grandmaster should be able to pick that up.
Well, it depends. It really depends. Okay,
it's true.
It's a Celestial Warrior. He can try and maybe permablind a bit, but winning this is gonna be ridiculously difficult, and he will be giving the cap up if he wins it. I can't see it. I can't see it happening.
I mean, Grandmaster can, like, obviously stay on node, but Shad is really staying on node. Like, I mean, I was thinking about in terms of that he'd have to dodge some of the damage coming out the fire fields, but, you know, he's still staying in the damage because it's not that much. And now he comes in, oh, the support comes out from Pump Rump, and I never thought I'd say that ever in my life. And still the focus is really hard on him. Look at Bullet as well, the worst two people for him to come up against. And I've got to say, the Grandmaster did a great job to survive there, to be fair.
Yeah, he did, and now it's really looking good for the red team, even in mid. Now the blue team committing 4 people to this, although, no, seems like a bit of a rotation. Shot pulling out there and going for the 1v1 against Zeraldo. He's up against another Celestial Shield Warrior, and he doesn't want to take that 1v1. He saw how difficult it gets to really beat that. He was able to sustain the decap on point, but beating that, I don't really see it. At least not without giving up the point. But he did a brilliant rotation of using Shadow's Embrace to get rid of the condition and then hopping back on point. So good job there.
Good stuff. I mean, look at the amount of might stacks on the red team at the moment. We've got 18, 10, some all above, or just one person who's really below 10. Just as I say that, everyone on the red team is starting to get some more damage now. And Grandmaster might go down here as Shad nicks his ability and tries to use that steal to take him out. He has been able to with the assistance of Bullet in range there with the Scepter, and now they can go in a 2v1 situation against Bomber over on the Henge. Now he needs to probably think about disengaging. He has a little bit just as he gets the support there from Pump Rump, who can jump onto the point. Taskin very low on HP here, needs to be very careful about himself. He's going to use that toolkit.
We do have the cap already. If they would have been able to make it on point before they got the cap, okay, then it's worth it. Down point, keep it neutral for a bit longer. They are gaining. They might then be able to just get a new engage on the midpoint or just get the reinforcements. But on a cap point, nope, they still haven't made up the lead. We now see Svanir to attempt to do just that, but there's movement, but nobody in range. Nobody in range by any stretch of the imagination, but possibly the opening for a mine decap there.
How long is it going to take Zeraldo to go? Oh no! Is Zeraldo going to go? Oh, I thought Zeraldo was going to go down to the boss there. He was very low on HP. But,
you can still kill a creature in downstate.
That's true. Going down, I won't mention that. But now they're trying to secure the bosses where they can, because I know they've probably only got a minute and a half. They need to get some decaps going. Sorcerer Xerix needs to try and escape from Shad now. Shad's on the chase, as well as the boss, because the boss has actually been pulled as well. And Xerix is in a bad situation here. And he's just gone down, knowing that the boss is engaged. Maybe he tries to get some damage off to.
And the chieftain is really on the side of Zip-Zap. Zip-Zap Zoop apparently. Is just gonna leave Xerix to be finished by a chieftain. Xerix trying. I'm gonna get you. No, you're not. Xerix down. No. Chieftain not quite down, but Pump Rump is gonna attempt to take that with him. We do have a decap on the Henge. However, the point lead is just a bit too much. They need the decap on mid, and they can't really swing it. We don't have any knockbacks on these warriors.
Yeah, it's over at the moment. They've got the henge now. Red team, unless they try and... No, there you go. Boss kill comes in for blue, and we see blue team taking the win into our second game on Forest of not Forest of the Faux Fire. Wow, I'm tired.
Not Forest of the Faux Fire.
Not Forest of the Faux Fire. Also, just as a small announcement, and me and Nick were talking about this recently, and I have had a little chat with ESL as well. We might be trying a new rotation next week, or a new way of doing the maps to bring some variation in.
Yeah.
Because even though these maps are great, it would be nice to maybe bring in Temple as a new rotational map. We've seen that in the Misspedia. We've seen it in the different W2S qualifiers and whatnot as well. Sometimes we've seen it in various places. And I think it's time to bring Temple in, give it a bit of a testy outiness, and change the rotation of these maps just as a test.
I have to say, if I get what I want map voting, or map picking rather. So
we got to evolve it. We'll at least evolve it.
Yeah.
Something's got to change with these.
Something is gonna change. What exactly? You'll just have to wait and see what will happen.
Actually, why don't we ask the chat? I mean, let's use it. I mean, we could even do a straw poll.
We could.
As an idea. We have
has
no decision in this in the end. This is obviously up to ESL, but if you would like to try and influence it, we can try and make a straw poll and get you guys involved in terms of what you would like to see. Maybe this is we can be a little bit more open with these ESL Weekly Cups, of course. Yes.
I just want to say one thing. I saw earlier in the chat somebody said I stole your outfit from yesterday.
You are looking very smart again.
I can most certainly. I can say I'm not, because this is not a jacket. It's actually a cardigan.
Oh wow! It actually looks like a suit jacket.
Yes, it does. That's why I bought it.
And I'm just wearing a Harley Davidson t-shirt.
Yesterday I had a tie.
I saw your tie. That was very well tied.
I know. The Eldritch knot. Next time it's going to be the Trinity.
Oh, the Trinity. I've seen that. I tried to give that a go, but then I didn't have time, and I realised that real life was more important than trying to tie my tie for half an hour.
Oh, ties are good.
I agree. I like them. So, chat, we will also be doing some gem giveaways. At least 2 I will be doing this evening. But you have to be following the channel to have a chance of winning. So make sure that you are following the channel. We are just filling in some time as we wait for the rest of the team members to get in. So what do we think about the first game there? What do Red Team need to do? I think they were starting to come back.
Red Team needs to open on 3 points.
Yes.
Definitely.
They do. They always need to contest 3 points probably as well.
Yeah. Or maybe, well, the question is, do you want to have a... Do you want to... I really don't see... Oh, wait, we have a bit of a change.
Good.
Zereldo is on a DPS Guardian.
And we've...
So that could just be that
we've got
little bit more damage and, a lot of change. So move to DPS Guardian and Xerix on his weird build.
Random build. He's mixed it up with survival. So he's gone for power, I think. Yeah, he's gone with Zerka's amulet. And then, power survival. So... we need to think of a name for that, but he's probably got one.
Power survival. Why not?
But it needs to be more fun than that, doesn't it? No, yeah.
Although,
so we can. Have you gone into his traits or anything, so we can have a look at it, maybe?
Yeah, I've shown them on stream. But...
So recharge and survival skills. So he does have quicken and Zephyr there. Quickness is really good, especially if he gets into that longbow, and even his greatsword, to be fair. But longbow, that would just be really annoying if he can get those skills off. Also, quickness stomps are nice. Lightning reflexes, obviously, that's very survivable as well. And then he's got his. His extra toughness and survivability inside that Signet of Stone, which we see Dipset using actually as well. And then obviously Entangle, which is annoying as hell.
The funny thing is we call, at least I call Dipset's build Spirit Survival.
Oh, but right, you've shortened it now.
But it isn't really that survival-ish. Because the only reason he, Dipset, even picks Survival of the Fittest is just for the... no, wait, is it Survival of the Fittest? No. Yeah. That too
Remove
is just
conditions
for
and confuse.
entangle. Normally in that build, you don't take Segment of the Storm, but rather lightning reflexes. But he's gone just nope. I only take entangle as a survival skill and still builds straights into the survival. But this build a lot more survival oriented.
I mean, Dipset's using Entangle to disengage and to get out. He's just using it to survive. Whereas I think Entangle could be used better in an offensive role because it's so powerful.
But he put a lot of stuff into the Entangle.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake in a way. But he also Dipset's Dipset, and he plays his build quite well as well. So,
by the way, just want to say we gave them the go when ready 2 minutes ago, so we are waiting on them at the moment. So let's have a quick look at Zeraldo. He is running, I think, the same build that we see on the other side on Bullet Punch. Also that Great Sword DPS Guardian.
Oh wow, okay, so we've seen 2 DPS Guardians both playing with the Great Sword. We don't really see that much other than Bullet, and then 2 in the same game. So hey ho, there we go. Something
Wait. We don't see a lot of DPS Guardians other than Bullet? Do you know Tage?
No.
Do you know Frelina?
Nick, did you listen to what I said?
No, I didn't.
I said with the Great Sword.
Okay, never mind. I just heard...
I casted Tage last night.
Yeah. Okay, then never mind, I was wrong, I apologize.
Good.
So, Zoop got the first round. They can just pick up the second one and go into the finals of today's cup. But maybe 360 No Scope can have a bit of a better performance. We saw some moments in the last game. Let's see them repeated. 360 No Scope on the red side against Zoop. I'm kind of liking the name now. On the blue side.
I'll let you say it all the time. Okay, so as we see the mid engage is going to be Fake versus Graveyard. That's going to be fairly long-winded. Having a look over on the waterfall, we're going to see Zeraldo. He's going to be ranging. Oh, we're going to have DPS Guardian on DPS Guardian off node, and then on point as they start to move on point, we have the 2 elementalists also going for it as well. Pump Rump versus Tommy. Over on the quarry, we have a 2v2 situation. Shad currently at range at the moment as Tasker's had to pop that Elixir S to get out of that cleave damage that's coming out from Bomber, and also Xerix, who was just on him there as well. As Xerix goes over towards
there goes the Entangle.
The Entangle.
Oh, and that damage on Taskin. Shad manages to get out of there just with stealth. But that is too much for Taskin even. So Shad now disengaging. They are just sacrificing the quarry point now. Taskin needs to wait for the respawn, and in the meanwhile it could get pretty difficult for Fake in the mid. He is winning the 1v1 at least up until now, but Shad is coming in for the assistance, but also Xerix on the side. And after we've got the cap on the quarry now, we do see Typhoon moving in.
There we go. We've got 2 members of the red team. Fake using that fear there. That was the quite a good time to use it, to be fair. He needed to. He needed to survive as the rest of his team come in. But the problem is you can see Xerix over on the south side. There we go. Exactly was about to say that. Blue need to put some pressure onto him right now, and they did that. Shad jumped on in Taskin as well.
Perfect timing with the Basilos Venom there. Otherwise, Fake would have gone down, definitely.
So at the moment, again, Xerix is just in stealth there. Need to watch out for him. Fake just picks him up there as well. I'm not sure that was intentional. I think it was in stealth. I'm not sure if he saw him. And he can just drop that 5th ability on the longbow and try and scare some people away as he tries to get some damage. Now, Xerix is doing a good way. He's doing good at surviving at the moment, but he's not really being too offensive here as he gets that focus on him. Of course, that's what the blue team need to do, which is good because as he is distracted by trying to survive, Shad has been able to sneak past for the cheeky decap.
Yeah, but now the damage on Bullet is a bit too much. We had Zeraldo focused on him for the entire time. I thought maybe a bit of DPS Guardian rivalry there. Did we see a rest banner come out, or what was that? Don't even quite know, but it doesn't matter that much because the mid-fight is still being sustained even with Bullet down. We do have the double outer point cap now with the quarry decapped and full capped by Shad.
Yeah, there's really too much focus on the midpoint at the moment from Red, and they're even going down themselves. Bomber Typhoon just going down on node, doesn't need to be down at all, can just be cleaved out, which is what's happened. Bullet Punch has now gone down, unfortunately, with the timing of that, hasn't been able to rally. The res is good. Blue team are on it with the rezzing at the moment and the communication, whereas I think it's lacking again from Red team. I don't think it's really the player's skill.
That's going to
or
be
the
the
builds.
3-cap. Well, Pump Ram is going on there, but Shad can finish him off pretty quickly. And he might even be kicked off point. Although, no, we don't have a hammer. I need to
Oh,
remember
his lightning
that.
flashed out to the top. There's no point in trying to escape. He's going to die. He should have just stayed at mid and died there, been in the down state and kept it, you know, decaps for a little bit of time.
Well,
so at least he kept moving.
No, he is escaping at the moment. He is escaping
away.
and pulling some people away from the waterfall. And pulling people away from the waterfall might be the perfect thing to do if you want to engage on the quarry.
But he's still got 2 members on him. He's not, you know, he needs support.
Well, at least he made the most of it.
He pulled 2 people away as well, at least while the rest of the team was respawning. So that wasn't too bad in the end. Tommy is actually quite low over here. Oh, Bomber does a nice move, pulling Tommy in. Unfortunately, missing that force skill on the rifle just as Tommy gets out of range of that. It's quite short range on that rifle 4 ability, of course. And that was a little bit of a wasted cooldown, but I'm not going to matter too much. It's going to come back up soon. Tommy getting away there over to the midpoint. 2K coming in still for the blue team. Pump ramps only just been finished over on the waterfall as well. Shad starts to move back into mid. Tayskin has gone down over on the quarry side. He will be bled out as well. So blue team, and you know, they've both got 1 player down, so it's still fairly even over here.
We just saw the entangle come out, but that didn't really do that much. The focus is on Tommy Tom, but he has quite some ability to escape. He's trying to get up the stairs. We did see an updraft there, 2 people knocked down. Trying to get around, back in position for a possible res if he goes down. Bullet Punch is in the vicinity. Fake now CC'd, immobilized. He vapor forms onwards to him, but the damage from the Zeraldo could be a bit much to actually attempt the res, but he is attempting. The attempt is there, but the damage, as we said, too much. Pullback of Xerix from Tayskin that keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but he's definitely not going to be in the land of the living anytime soon.
That's it, exactly. I mean, the problem was the Red had a lot of focus on mid there. But the thing is that they forgot about their back point. At least the Bomber went for the cap over on the waterfall, which is probably what they thought. At least, you know, they can swap the caps round at the very least. And if blue team didn't go for the decap, which is probably very unlikely because Shad's here and he's normally going for that if he can. But red team polishing off over on the mid, and they're going to be able to get that cap. But is it going to be too late? 160 points lead.
Shad is actually able to, again, be on point and against Grandmaster. This time a little bit more difficult because he didn't just have to keep it neutral, he had to keep it capped. And that gives you even less leeway for getting off point and getting into stealth to trigger the Shadow's Embrace there. So that was tough, and he did manage to do it. Did he insta-vapor form? No, he didn't. He's just got swirling stuff around him. That confused me.
Whirling stuff. No. Rune of Strength over on Tommy as well, just as a note, as something to remember. Oh, the entangle comes out. Shad's in the downstate. He's going to be taken out of this fight as well. But Tommy's back onto. Oh God!
Wait,
the
really?
entangle
for that?
Tom. Yeah,
that
but
seemed a bit wasted.
Shad
was down already.
Yeah, but Tommy's going to go down as well. They're going to secure the node, and by the time they've picked this up, let's have a look at Xerix and actually check the cooldown. 25 seconds, not wasted really. He's going to have it back up by the time he gets to mid.
Yeah, 25 seconds. I forgot how annoyingly low the cooldown is. Yeah.
I mean, people rage about Entangle, but if you think about what it does, okay, it's got a low. And you think about other people's elites, it should really, the cooldown isn't so bad. It's just because it's really horrible when it happens to you. But you can dodge it. You can avoid it.
It isn't that bad, but it's really horrible.
It's just horrible when you get in it yourself. It's just, you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe that people use this.
We have the decap again on Quarry. Headhunter Xerix is now going back to take it up with Shad. We do have the assistance from Tommy Tom, and nobody from Red coming. Yeah, the damage, of course, is really hard on Shad there. He's not the man to stay on point, especially with Zeraldo coming in. The Guardian just does way too much from afar. Now Xerix just snipering, and that's actually enough to get them down. We do have bullet down. Tommy Tom can't get either one of them. 3 people now good with the defense. They didn't get the. Did they get the cap, or was it decapped already?
It was, they got the cap, yes, but it didn't register on the actual board there.
Okay.
And they had the 2 cap. Now, blue team in range of a Lord Rush, they can go for that if they do get desperate and red start to pick up the rest of the caps.
Well,
they need to be careful of that.
Still need one more kill.
Yeah, sorry, 2 points left. And that could happen with the death, potentially, of Grandmaster here as he's in the down state just off node. Tommy going for the down, successful, and that is now the possibility for that to happen. Blue team gate is actually down. Red team have gone for that, but as they respawn, kind of an obvious point to go to, they're going to go to Waterfall. So
well,
why are they not guarding
Oh,
it?
nice with the immobilizer there, but I have to say, not really that obvious, because if you...
I don't know.
If you imagine a scenario where you want to go for the Lord Rush, I would have thought we'd rather see a big team fight on the quarry point.
No,
but they aren't going for the Lord Rush.
They're not going to... At the moment, they don't need to, because Red Team are nowhere near it. So 150 points, they're not going to be thinking about going for it yet. The game's still got 6 minutes left as well. And if they're communicating well, they know that all the Red Team are at the mid. And it's just kind of an obvious thing, you know, right? I can just pick up the cone point easy, you know, get back into the game, still solidifying the points. And if not, we can 2v1 this fast. I mean, you just jump over there with Bullet and Shad, and that's it. It's gone. And now Red Team are falling by the wayside. Zerik's downstate, Zeraldo downstate. Grandmaster's jumping over to see if he can do anything. Not going to happen. He's actually running into all of Tayskin's cleave damage. Blue Team are going to pick up this point at the moment. Grandmaster is very low. All the focus coming out onto him.
Is Tayskin going to have an eye on the back point? Because we do have a Typhoon taking the long way around. Maybe he's going to get too aggressive. No, he smelled something. He's going already. Oh, no, he turned around again. Look! Just look! Tayskin! What are you doing? Okay, now I've seen 3 people engaging immediately. The decap came through, but Typhoon is going to pay with his life.
Typhoon at least he got the decap there. That's one thing. Red Team are going to push over to that point now as well. They need to keep getting these decaps as well. They're still so far away from getting to 350 at the moment. I mean, Blue Team could be taking this game, advancing towards the final, and we could see Red Team going out. You know, it's not going to be a big, massive blow. They know what. In a way, it's good to be in this situation. They know their weaknesses, and they can come back and sort it out. But it's still not over as of yet. Although Zeraldo going down is not going to help their chances, and Bomber going out over here as well, engaging in that 2v3 there is not going to be very useful.
I think at the point where they got the mid fight, where they won that and had still 2 people in downstate, in theory that would have been the perfect moment to go for a Lord Rush. But I also feel that even though, okay, it's a tournament, but it's the Weekly Cup, there's only gems on the line and not big money. We might actually have this team just wanting more opportunity to get some practice in. Because they are new, they are all experienced players, but they are new in this setup, and I think they are out for the money. For the big money.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean, why not try and win?
Well, sure.
Win still.
they are still winning, but I think you could have just ended that with a Lord Rush. It was a good opportunity to go for one.
Yeah, true. That's true. Oh no, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, getting some good practice in against some good players is always good as well. Hitting that 5:03 mark now.
Or maybe they were just sure enough and didn't want to go for it. Didn't feel like it.
They wanted to extend our lives even. Tayskin talking in the chat as he's playing. Confident man. So that is the end of that. We can go to the final. Let's see if we have anyone else through from the other brackets.
Yeah,
we have Je suis Charlie.
Je suis Charlie. He's coming through. So French team in the finals. They are representing right here, and they will be going up against Zoop.
Awesome. Wow. This is 2 new teams, new teams, going up against each other in a first of the year ESL Weekly Final. And I think this is a good way to start it off, the way we would like it to.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, keep coming back, everyone.
I have to say it's a lot more entertaining than having one of the, let's say,